There's a guy who makes $40,000 a year and has never once worried about money. And there's a guy who makes $400,000 a year and is one bad month away from disaster. Same country, same economy, same access to banks, credit cards, investing apps, everything. So what's actually different? It's not income, it's not luck. It's a set of rules. And one of them, the one I'll show you last, is the one almost nobody talks about. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what separates people who are financially stable for life from people who are one emergency away from falling apart. Quick thing before we start. If you want videos that actually break down how money works, not get rich overnight nonsense, hit subscribe right now. This channel is built for people who want real financial stability, step by step. Okay, let's get into it. Here's what nobody tells you about money. We're taught that the goal is to earn more. Get the raise, get the promotion, start the side hustle. And yeah, that helps. But I want you to picture two people. One earns 6 figures, spends accordingly, upgrades their life every time their paycheck goes up. New car, bigger apartment, more subscriptions. The other earns way less, but somehow never panics when the car breaks down or the rent goes up. That second person isn't smarter. They're not earning some secret income you don't know about. They just follow a handful of minimalist rules, quietly, consistently, without ever needing willpower to do it. Today, I'm giving you all of them, and I'm saving the most overlooked one for the end, because it's the one that actually keeps people stable for decades, not just months. Let me give you a real example first, because this stuff means nothing without context. 2 coworkers, same company, same salary, started the same year. One of them, 10 years later, owns their home outright and has 6 months of expenses saved. The other is still renting, still carrying a credit card balance, still one layoff away from panic. Same income the entire time. The only difference between them was never talent or luck. It was a handful of small, boring rules repeated for 10 years straight. And the wild part? Neither of them would describe themselves as good with money. One just had a system. The other was winging it. That's the entire gap. That's what we're covering today. Rule 1. Nothing gets bought on impulse, ever. If it's not planned, it waits 24 hours. No exceptions. Not a flash sale, not a deal ends tonight, not a 1 a.m. scroll that ends with 3 things in your cart you forgot about by morning. Here's why this actually works. Most overspending has nothing to do with money. It's about emotion. Boredom, stress, a bad day looking for a dopamine hit. The 24-hour rule doesn't fight the urge. It just removes the moment of impulse. And almost every time, the urge is gone by tomorrow. Financially stable people aren't more disciplined than you. They just built a system that takes the decision out of the heat of the moment. Rule 2. Every dollar has a job before it ever touches your account. This is where minimalism actually pays off. Most people have one checking account doing 5 jobs at once. Rent, groceries, fun money, savings, emergencies, all mixed together. And when it's all mixed together, you genuinely don't know what you can afford to spend. Stable people separate it. One account for bills, one for spending. One you basically forget exists. That's savings. The second money has a designated home. The temptation to borrow from your future self disappears. You stop relying on willpower and start relying on structure. And structure beats willpower every single time. Rule 3. And this might be the one rule that changes everything. Savings happen before spending, not after. Most people do this completely backwards. Rent, bills, groceries, fun money, and whatever's left, maybe, goes to savings. Which means most months, nothing's left. Flip it. The moment income hits, a percentage moves to savings automatically before you even see it. Doesn't matter if it's 5% or 20%. What matters is it's automatic. You're not depending on discipline at the end of a tiring month. You're removing the choice completely. This single shift is the real reason average earners often build more wealth than high earners who never automate a thing. Rule 4 is where minimalism really shows its teeth. Stop buying cheap versions of things you'll just replace in 6 months. Buy fewer things, but buy the right things. Sounds like it contradicts saving money. It's actually the opposite. Constantly replacing low-quality stuff costs more over a year than buying something solid once. Clothes, shoes, kitchen tools, even subscriptions you forgot you're paying for. Financially stable people audit what they own and what they pay for on repeat and cut anything not earning its place. Less stuff, less clutter, less recurring cost. More room to actually build wealth instead of maintaining a pile of things you don't even use. Rule 5. Debt is only for things that build your future, never for things you simply want right now. A mortgage, maybe a loan for education or a real business, that's debt with a purpose. Credit card debt for a vacation, a new phone, furniture you didn't need yet? That's borrowing from a future version of you who now has to work harder to pay for a decision made today. Stable people treat debt like fire, useful when it's controlled, devastating when it's not. If you can't pay cash for it, the real question isn't, can I afford the payments? It's, do I actually need this right now, or can it wait until I've actually saved for it? Rule 6. And this one gets overlooked constantly. Lifestyle creep is the silent killer of financial stability. Every time income goes up, expenses quietly go up right alongside it. A raise comes in, and suddenly there's a nicer car, a bigger apartment, more takeout, more subscriptions. And somehow, even with more money coming in, nothing actually changes. The bank account looks the same as it did 3 raises ago. Financially stable people break this cycle on purpose. When their income goes up, their lifestyle stays mostly flat, and the gap between what they earn and what they spend gets wider every single year. That gap is where wealth actually gets built. Not from the raise itself, but from refusing to let the raise disappear into a slightly upgraded version of the same paycheck-to-paycheck life. Rule 7. Stop financing your life around what other people seem to have. This one's quiet, but it wrecks more people than almost anything else on this list. Someone posts a new car, a vacation, a renovated kitchen, and suddenly you feel behind, even though you have no idea what their actual financial situation looks like. They could be financing every bit of it. They could be drowning. You're comparing your real numbers to someone else's highlight reel, and that comparison quietly pushes people into spending they can't actually afford, just to feel like they're keeping pace. Financially stable people opt out of that game entirely. They measure progress against their own numbers from last year, not against a stranger's curated feed. The moment you stop spending to keep up appearances, an enormous amount of financial pressure just disappears. And now, the one I promised you at the start. The rule almost nobody mentions. Protect your peace of mind before you protect your portfolio. Financially stable people build an emergency cushion before they ever touch investing apps or trending stocks. Not because growing money isn't important, it is, but because the entire reason people panic sell investments take high-interest loans, or make terrible financial decisions under pressure is that they had zero cushion when life happened. A job loss, a car repair, a medical bill. Without a buffer, every financial decision you make is made from fear. With one, even a small one, you make decisions from a position of calm. That's the real, quiet difference between people who stay stable for 30 years and people who look stable until the first real emergency hits.
So here's all 8 one more time. Wait 24 hours before any unplanned purchase. Separate your money by purpose. Automate your savings before you ever spend $1. Buy less, but buy better. Only go into debt for things that build your future. Keep your lifestyle flat when your income goes up. Stop measuring yourself against other people's spending. And build your cushion before you chase returns. None of these require a bigger paycheck. They just require consistency, applied for years, not days.
If even one of these hit different, comment which rule you're starting with today. I read every single one. And if you want more breakdowns like this on how financially stable people actually think, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.